Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm a sleep physician. And if you have insomnia, this channel is for you. Justin from episode 116 is back after a very scary event. It sounds as if this was a combination of lucid dreaming and REM paralysis, a type of sleep-wake transitioning event. You will hear from his email how frightening these type of events can be. But the message here is that no matter how frightening they seem, they cannot hurt you. Super duper nice having you back here. And if you're new to the channel, then welcome to you. Hope you find something that is valuable to you here. As mentioned, we're going to go over this email from Justin, who also contributed to episode 116. And, you know, reading this email, I just remember it was a morning I read it and it's like, oh, you get goosebumps. This sounds so scary. And, you know, I really wanted to share this because I think a lot of you probably have had similar things going on. And fear of these events can really trigger insomnia. So before we get into it, as always, nothing here is medical advice to you, Justin, or anybody else, but just general thoughts and comments that I hope will be helpful. And I'll jump a little bit back and forth here to kind of present this in, I think, the most helpful way. So 6 days ago, I'm just going to read part of this email because I think it was really strong. And this is the part I remember reading. So 6 days ago, Justin wrote to me, "Hi, I'm replying again. I just had the scariest thing happen to me just now, like I felt like just insanely crazy. I can't even explain it. I'm trying to fall asleep, but all of a sudden I'm dreaming, and in my dream I see a chalkboard. I read the sentence and these Pac-Man noises is in my head. I go deeper and deeper into a dream, like I'm falling, but I'm also aware of my physical body, and I feel myself breathing and I can't move." And then I wrote to email, I'm so sorry, this sounds scary. I just kind of hinted at maybe there's some kind of REM transition event. And I asked him how he felt. He says, "I'm feeling fine now, but I'm scared to fall asleep now." And there's one thing I want to read here. "I was actually feeling myself lose my train of thought by the second until all went black. I thought I would be stuck like that forever. But the opposite happened and I woke up." And before we get more into like what probably caused this, I just wanted to read his his description from a day ago when things had, dust had settled a little bit and he kind of remembers it again. Then he said, "I'll briefly describe what happened again. All I remember is seeing a chalkboard in front of me with a sentence. I read the sentence and after I finished reading it, it started to disappear and I heard a weird muffled like Pac-Man swooshing noise in my ears. But I was still in the dream. I was also aware of myself breathing and I could even feel my legs, arms and body not able to move as it seemed my mind was getting sucked deeper into sleep. It honestly felt as if it was sucking me into this blackness while I was aware of the whole thing and could still feel my physical body until everything went black and I woke up. Scary. I wasn't scared as it was happening for some reason, but just thinking of it scares me again." So, backtracking a little bit to the first series of emails here, Justin said, he asked me, "Do you think maybe this happened because the last 2 days I tried to change my sleep schedule? 2 days ago, I went to bed at 2 a.m. and I usually fall asleep around 6:30. But tonight, so I guess, yesterday night, I was so tired I went to bed 7:30 and I slept till about 1 a.m. And then I stayed up until about 8 a.m. And at 8 a.m., that's when it happened." And so let's think about this. What happens is that, this sounds like a pretty brief event. Definitely there's some sleep, it's not like Justin was awake this whole time. There is a component of sleep here, but it also sounds like pretty much throughout this event, it's not like deep consolidated sleep. Justin was kind of aware of what was happening. So I think there was a component of lucid dreaming here. He was kind of like, part of the brain is in REM sleep, where we dream a lot. Part of the brain is awake. So you have this like lucid dreaming. You're aware of being awake. Now, there's also a component of this, like Justin cannot move his arms and his body, which is REM paralysis. When we are in REM sleep and dream sleep, our bodies are naturally paralyzed so that we don't act out our dreams. Sometimes that paralysis can spill over into wakefulness, and that's when you have REM paralysis. Typically, you kind of wake up, you're completely awake, but your body's paralyzed. That is classical REM paralysis. But knowing how these kind of transitional events go, weird things can happen. So I think this was a kind of sleep paralysis that kind of partially happened, when Justin was still dreaming. Now, why did this happen? It's a very bizarre event. Although I heard similar things in clinic, they're not that common. And I think Justin is onto something. I think when he tried to like switch his sleep schedule around, he fell asleep during a time where he maybe normally has REM sleep. REM sleep is what we call circadianly driven, so it usually happens kind of the same time every day. So somehow I do think this shift in sleep pattern made him have this event. And the key point here is that if you've had similar type of events, they are transitional events. They happen because part of the brain is in one state, part of the brain is in another state. And as scary and frightening as they are, you cannot, go into a coma. You cannot die. You cannot become stuck in a dream or anything like that. So I hope knowing that will make you a little bit less afraid of them. And a lot of these events happen when we are kind of hyper aroused and scared. So being less scared helps. Hope this was helpful to you, Justin, and anybody else that is tuning in. As always, if you have any question, email me at daniel@insomniainsight.co. And I'm going to add, if anybody that hears this has any questions and is willing to talk to me on like a podcast, not video, but just like voice, super. I would really appreciate that. I think hearing somebody talk about sleep problems or just asking about sleep or insomnia at all, overall, is really powerful. So I'm hoping to do more and more of those podcast episodes. So for now, that's all, and hope to have you back here real soon. Bye-bye.